Still started at 7. Cool. He said, give me 5 minutes and I'll be ready whenever you are. So he's not ready yet. So... Alright, I guess we're just waiting. Just took a Advil because my head hurts. What the hell? I just tried to put the cat back on my...
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Okay, so let me see. I have some games that I want to study against. The best guy from Argentina, from my region, is a Ryu. So I have some games recorded against him that I think you are the best person to tell me what I should do. So here's a Twitch bot, and I have the timestamps for the games.
Okay, awesome.
Those are the games that I found more interesting. It's like a long video of my stream, and we have to actually look for them. But there are like, I think 5 or 6 games against the Ryu, and he basically kicked my ass every game.
Okay. There's the link so we can watch this stuff together.
Okay.
So the first game is 49-52. It's the closest we're gonna get, I think.
That's like the first game that we play that night, and I
cool.
want to compare the first game with the last one then to see if there's any big difference in what I do.
Okay, cool. Just pull this over here so I have stream set up properly. Awesome. I think that looks good. Okay, cool. So, is this a player matchup thing or a character matchup thing, or a little bit of both?
I think he's the best in my region, so he's actually good. But I think there's another Ryu, but he's like much worse than me, and I can beat him easily. I don't know if it's a character matchup or a player matchup. Maybe a bit of both. I think that I don't know how to close talk, how to kill Ryu fast, and I end up being on a situation that he's on like full rage, and I'm at 58, and I end up dying by Apple Shoryu. So I think I should learn how to kill him faster, and to take stage control and put in a not so good situation for him.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we'll go through this and I'll see what I can point out.
Okay.
Wow, he's really not approaching. Okay, yeah. So, just first of all, actually, no, I'll watch a little bit more first. I don't even know if that's the case yet. Yeah. Okay. So the thing that's happening so far is I think you're just giving up stage control a little bit too easily. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so kind of like you kind of mentioned stage control, but basically what's happening is you're putting yourself at the very edge of the stage in order to try and get
Yeah.
like bullets and like held nair and that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
that's just something that like it's something that um or I guess this is the way I'll describe it. The only way you can do a safe option is if you have like room behind you to back up towards.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put your back to the corner, it makes it a lot easier for Ryu to just kind of like force you to do something silly. So you could see at that first interaction, he kind of like walked you into the corner, and then once he had you in the corner, you had to like side B through him to actually get back. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just like that sort of stuff is like really really risky. Um, and those are the kind of things that Ryu looks to like punish really hard. So I'd say like probably your best bet is to do kind of like not don't give up stage control for free basically. You obviously want to take as much stage control as you can.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously don't want to be like right in Ryu's face, but you want to be at like a decent distance from him, and then do kind of like safe things like held neutral air, like kind of, or like you can do like short hop held neutral air to get a little bit of damage, and then fade that back so it's safe, as well as
Okay.
things like even like retreating back air or just those things that you kind of need that space for. And then
Okay.
as Ryu pushes you back, you want to kind of like fight for that stage control. So sometimes you might want to do two nairs or something back, um, and then try and get past him with like a side B, or like maybe you want to do one nair the next time and then do like a heel slide towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically what's happening is in this matchup is you have to, um, as soon as you're out of stage control, Ryu knows that you have to do something risky, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and you're making it so you're putting your back to the wall, and he doesn't have to like predict anymore when you're gonna do something risky. He just has to like walk up and wait for you to do something risky, and then
Mm-hmm.
punish. So
Okay, that
basically,
makes
what you
sense.
want to do is you want to make sure that you're not putting your own back against the wall, and you want to make sure that you're trying to stay near center stage as often as you can, so that you have the space to do like a retreating nair or something, or like even just like a short hop backwards, like stuff like that to condition Ryu to do things.
Okay.
Because you can condition him to like run up shield by like doing back airs, like retreating back airs, and those things will be completely safe.
How do I fight for stage control? When Ryu pushes into me, like this time he went with a forward air into me, and that moment I went to the ledge, and that's when everything went wrong. So what do I do when Ryu walks to me? When he starts to approach, should I like mix up my neutral airs with a heel slide? Should I try to side B and go to the other side of the stage? What should I do?
So it really comes down to just what you think he's not going to expect. Um,
Okay.
so for example, like let's say you're both around center stage, like around where you'd start at the start of a match. You could run
Mm-hmm.
forward a little bit and then like start conditioning him by doing like short hop back airs. And then once he's conditioned to run up and shield these back airs, you could do like short hop and then just tomahawk and land and immediately
Okay.
grab. You know? It's like that sort of stuff. You just kind of want to um it's just kind of like a mix up game. It's whatever you think he's not going to expect. So you can
Yeah.
condition him to do one thing, like if you're conditioning him to shield by using a whole bunch of hitboxes, one way to get stage control back really well is just to grab him and push him back.
Mhm.
as well as like maybe like even pressuring his shield with like forward air one. Um, but
Yeah,
there's
Ryu can't do anything with forward one.
yeah,
Like
not at all.
I have to approach, I just fair one, and then it's a mix up of fastball grab or side V or whatever I want to do.
Exactly. So it's like you have two options, and one of your options is to push Ryu back, and then
Hmm.
your other option is to get past Ryu. So, which means either like heel sliding past him, and even if he shields it, like if he's really close to start the heel slide, sometimes he won't
Yeah,
even
I
be able
can
to do
run.
anything,
Yeah.
and you can just heel slide through him, and then you have stage control again, and then he
Hmm.
has his back to the wall. So either side being through him, like heel sliding through him, even just double jumping over his head and then dive kicking to the other side of the stage. Um, but you just want to make sure that you're not immediately putting yourself against the wall again. Like if you're going from the ledge and you're just side being twice through him, or like side being through him once and then side being away from him, and you just end up on the other side of the stage with your back to the wall again, then you're in basically the same position, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Then you're right on the ledge again, and he's pressuring you again, and then it's like it just becomes a guessing game of will he pick the right option.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's a game that he got nothing to lose, and it's a like a rock paper scissors that he can lose, and I got two options that I lose. So
exactly.
yeah,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, we'll keep watching this and just see. Because see, right now you're on the ledge, and he knows that you're gonna have to do something risky, so he's kind of like pressuring you. You immediately go to the other side of the stage. Um, so that was a really good option to push him back. You caught the landing with
Sorry, I
that.
couldn't hear you. It was kind of laggy.
Oh, okay. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, but you can see how kind of like he's very much keeping you in the corners.
Yeah, that was
Um,
maybe.
yeah, that's fine.
The call is
So
too laggy.
is it?
If maybe, yeah, maybe I close something. I don't know if my internet is working well.
Yeah,
Let
my
me
stream
check.
and everything is still good.
Yeah, but mine's working good. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yours is still fine. Like I can still hear you fine, so I don't know.
I think it's kind of laggy if you talk to me while you're playing the video. Like, I think that doesn't make so much sense.
Okay, well I'll try and pause more
Each
before
time you
I.
talk to me, I can hear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
In this situation, I have no idea what. Feel like everything I do is a big risk, and my punishing wasn't the best there.
Yeah, so that's kind of what Ryu wants in this matchup. What Ryu wants is he wants you in the corner because anything you do coming out of the corner um, is going to be a risk for you, which is why
Yeah.
fighting for stage control is so important. Um, Also, another thing that is in my opinion really important against Ryu is a lot of the a lot of the time you don't want to try and combo him up to the top because he'll have focus
Okay.
attack at the top, and he should just be able to focus attack out of up air, like the last up air, almost no matter which combo
Yeah.
you do. So what you want to do is instead is you want to combo him out whenever you can,
Okay.
because as soon as he's off stage and he doesn't have his double jump, you can just back air him over and over and over again, or witch twist his Tatsu over and over and over again, and he should just die. Um,
Yeah.
it's something kind of like it's kind of like the Diddy matchup or like the Nest matchup where like they have kind of like weird frames and sometimes they're hard to combo up, but they're really
Mhm.
easy just to kind of like push off stage and then edge guard.
Yeah, I try to do that a lot. I don't know if that's seen in any of these games, but last time I played against him, I focused on taking him off the stage by the sides and focus on the edge guard. I think that works better than comboing from the top. Actually, I never got a kill against this guy from the top. I don't know if his SDI is good or if my combos are bad or what, but I can never kill him from the top.
Yeah, part of that is Ryu. Just Ryu is really, really good at avoiding that stuff because he has those two frame one options.
Hmm.
And then he's also kind of like heavy, but he doesn't have like a huge body.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I definitely say taking him off the side, getting him to burn the jump is like much, much better as far as like a punish option. Um, Things that he can't really get away from. Like for example, like forward air 1, 2, 3 is like super good against him on stage. So doing
Hmm.
like forward air 1, 2, 3, and then landing and fast falling the last fair, and then doing fair 1, 2, 3 again. You can just kind of chain that across the whole stage, and then put him off stage at around like 50% and see if you can edge guard.
Okay, that's good to know.
We'll keep going. Okay, so you did up throw and then you just kind of like did nothing after it.
Hmm.
And you just want to make sure that you're not letting Ryu get out of disadvantage for free. He definitely has stuff like focus attack and Shoryu that are like scary, but you want to make sure that you're not respecting him too much.
Hmm.
Um, because I mean, oftentimes it's kind of like you kind of get afraid of him, and it's like you don't want to eat a punish, but you want to make sure that you're still getting your own punishes when you have the advantage state like that.
Yeah, that's a problem that I got against Ryu and Cloud. It's like I respect them too much, and I end up doing nothing. And it's like sooner or later I will die if I do that. It happens
Yeah.
to me against Ryu and against Cloud, and sometimes against Fox. I think there are characters that kind of scary.
Yeah, no, definitely. Their advantage states are very, very good, and they can turn situations like that around. Um,
Yeah.
I'd say if you have the ability to, I'd say get the training mode mod pack. I can link you it. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I can get it.
it's super good for that sort of thing because you could set Ryu to like mash air dodge. You can set him to mash jump. You can even set him to like mashing forward air or nair or shoryu or focus or whatever you
Or
want.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just practice those conversions. Like just see what you can get out of an up throw, see what sort of things you can do, um, as far as kind of carrying them off stage. Another thing you can do, like even if you, one thing that Ryu like really has trouble against is held up air and held neutral air.
Hmm.
Um, if you do like up throw and then you do like held up air and you just kind of like put it out there,
Yeah.
even if he air dodges, it usually hits him afterwards, and
Hmm.
then it'll hit him afterwards and it'll put him off stage. Like it sends him very far to the side. And same with held in there. It'll just beat focus or you'll be able to cover air dodge. And it's a really good way to actually just like get him off stage, as well as it's just really hard for him to get down. So what I'd say against him is just like putting him um putting him above you and then kind of trapping his landings with like held up air, held in air, and seeing how long you can kind of push him off to the side.
Okay.
Oh yeah, someone in chat just mentioned, does mash focus work on the training mode mod pack or would it only be level 1? And I'm not sure if it'll hold focus. That's actually a good point. I'm not exactly
Mm.
sure how the training mode mod pack would work, but it would
I should
be,
try. I don't know.
yeah,
But
it
yeah,
might
it's
be
it's
close
enough to
enough.
see if he, yeah, if he just like can parry the first hit, it's like yeah, he can get out.
Yeah. Um which is I think the important thing. You might not be able to practice like getting like 2 hits on it or anything, but um I think you'll still be able to see like how held up air and held neutral air works for that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Um
Okay.
and then there was something else I was going to mention. shoot, I don't remember what it was. We'll keep going and see if I can figure anything else out.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is you're just not getting the most out of your punishes that you could be. He's giving
Yeah,
you
that's
a
true.
lot of potential punish openings, but you're not able to like capitalize on a lot of them. And I think part of it is that you're not wanting to get hit by Shoryu, and you're not wanting to get punished yourself for going in. But
Yeah.
things like focus attack you can punish really hard, especially if he like throws it out on your shield. If he hits your shield with focus attack, you can just like shield grab it every time.
Hmm.
That was one thing that you missed out on there. And then there was also just the F smash.
Yeah,
Um,
but I was looking backwards, so he hit my shield, but he was on my back, so I just ran
yeah.
B.
So like it's just making sure that like um not necessarily in that situation you could have punished that, but you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in positions where you can punish those sort of things.
Hmm.
Um because he's not, it's not like he's playing super like patient and super like no risk, like he's taking a lot of risks, and he's making a lot of not necessarily mistakes, but he's committing very hard.
Yeah.
um so you always just want to make sure that um you want to try and make sure that you're not always pressing buttons, so that you have the frame data and you have the time to kind of like punish those sort of things.
Yeah, makes sense.
um Even things like dashing around or like short hopping, like sometimes you'll get caught in your initial dash, or you'll get caught in a short hop or something, and you won't actually be able to punish something like that. So I guess you just want to make sure that um you're always like all of the movement that you're doing is for a reason. Is like the biggest
Mhm.
thing. Um but yeah, I think that's the biggest thing so far.
Okay. Again, I corner myself. I
Mm-hmm.
went straight into the corner. Again, I went back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you definitely can kind of see now that like when you put yourself in the corner like that, um it's only a matter of time before he only has to punish you once on that. And
Yeah,
he
he
did
got
end
nothing
up
to lose.
exactly, yeah. So he punished you eventually with that Shoryu when you did something super risky. Um
Okay.
but yeah, so generally the idea is just to try and fight back for the stage control on occasion. Because right now, he doesn't have to be afraid of you at all. He just kind of like, he's kind of like, okay, he may have got past me at this point, but it doesn't matter. because he's just going to go to the other corner, and all he has to do is just walk up, and he
Wait,
doesn't even
yeah.
have to like think about that kind of stuff. And yeah, he just kind of like waits. Um, However, you can make that sort of thing a lot harder on him just by um, kind of like forcing him to think about it once or twice. Not letting him just walk in for free, not let him just kind of like push you into the corner for free, and just
Okay.
being able to um, of course, like sometimes it might be right just to go to the corner and then to like get like reset, but you just want to make sure that you're varying those options.
Mm-hmm.
um you just have to make sure that you're not doing the same thing each time, basically. um because right now, yeah, when you put yourself in the corner each time, it's the same thing over and over. But yeah, we'll keep going. The next one, oh, the next one's just right after this one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they are straight, so it's end up stand straight, and the other one starts.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, now that I'm watching this again, I can notice that uh, when I was playing, I was thinking like I'm doing good, I'm not dying. But now that I see it, it's like I'm doing nothing. I'm just like running from corner to corner, and it's a matter of time till I die because
Yeah.
I'm not putting any pressure on him. I'm not giving him any reason to be scared of me or to respect me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like playing to not lose rather than playing to win, you know? You were
Yeah,
playing to avoid being hit, which is like always good, you know, you don't want to take unnecessary hits and everything, but you're not playing to win, essentially. You're not getting any pressure on him, you're not getting any hits yourself, you know.
that's something that a lot of people tell me that I sometimes I get into playing not to lose, and I end up losing because I'm not playing to win.
Mhm.
So that's a problem I have. How do I change that? How do I start playing to win? Like mixing things up, not get doing more risk. I don't know.
Um it's kind of hard to like explain, but it does come down to like taking more risks, but making sure they're like calculated risks. Because right now,
Yeah.
what's happening is it's like um what's happening generally is you are trying to take all of the no risk options, right?
Hmm.
You're trying to essentially um all of the options that you're doing, you're trying to do them because you won't get punished for them.
Yeah.
And it's leading you to a position where you have to do something risky. So I guess it's just kind of like reorienting how you think about neutral, in the sense that like you have to make sure that the options that you're going for are going to lead to a positive outcome. I guess it might be like more future oriented thinking, because like right now it's like it's very short sighted, and it's like you can tell that it's very much in the present. It's like right now Ryu is here, I need to be away from him, and
Okay,
you get
makes
away
sense.
from him, but you put yourself in the corner, and then the end result is still bad. Um, so I'd say like maybe a little bit more like forward thinking, being like, okay, I need to be away from Ryu, but I also have to make sure that I'm not being put into the corner, and I also have
Okay.
to see what options that he's doing in order to potentially push him back and keep myself away from the corner.
Yeah, and I noticed
Um,
that I don't know how to condition people. I can read habits, but I can't condition. It's like, how do I condition someone to, I don't know, spot dodge or hold shield?
so it's not like conditioning is actually like a lot more simple than people think it is, and you're probably already conditioning people right now, but you just don't know it. It's
Yeah.
it's just doing one option a lot. Like
Okay.
for example, like if you're giving up stage control and you're like trying to do your safe stuff, and you're like doing like short hop back airs over and over, you do like two short hop back airs one time when you go across, And then the next time you go across the stage, rather than doing 2 short hop back airs again, you do 1 short hop back air, and then the next time you land and you dash grab them instead.
Yeah,
Um,
I can notice that sometimes, but it's like I notice at low percent. When we are at above 80%, I can't notice any condition. It's like I don't know how to make someone do something. Yeah, when I'm a low percent, I can, yeah, like keep a hitbox and then the next time grab him or something like that. But after mid percent, I just can't, or maybe I do it, but I can't identify it.
yeah. Shoot. Yeah, it's not something that's like the object of conditioning isn't like always like I'm going to make you do this option. Like
Hmm.
oftentimes conditioning is like um oftentimes conditioning is like low risk, low reward type stuff. So
Okay.
if you condition them correctly, you might get a grab or you might get a back air, you know? And it becomes that kind of 50-50 in that example that I gave you earlier. Um, and a lot of the times when going for a kill at like the higher percents, you will kind of need a read. And
Hmm.
sometimes a read will come through conditioning. So for example, you do back air on shield twice, or you start doing tomahawk grabs over and over. And
Yeah.
then rather than the next time rather than tomahawk grabbing, you so that you're expecting that they know that you're going to tomahawk grab, you know? That they're thinking about it now. They've gotten hit by it enough times. So, um rather than trying to, like shield, they're going to try and hit you as soon as you land in front of them. So, you make the
Hmm.
read, you jump and you land. You short hop, but you short hop backwards slightly and you land just out of the range of their attack and you like forward smash them. And it's
Okay.
like it's something that in that sense that's a read, you know? You're not really like you're conditioning them and the read comes from that, but like what you're going to be doing in neutral a lot to try and play more to win isn't that hard of conditioning, you know?
Okay.
That level of like hard conditioning probably only comes like once or twice a set for like most players. Um, Whereas it's kind of like the lower level, like low risk, low reward kind of conditioning that you want to be doing a lot of.
Okay.
Which is just little things like, okay, I down tilted. Did they run in? They didn't run in this time. Um, so I just whiffed. Next time, what can I change so that this doesn't happen? So next
Okay.
time, you're a little bit closer. The down tilt doesn't whiff, but it hits their shield. So it's like, okay, what can I change so that this works next time?
I
Um,
try to do that a lot. Whenever I hear a heel slide or I don't know an up B, I see what option they take to go out, and I wait and do nothing. And the next time I try to punish that option, but it's like I can't do that in every situation. It's like sometimes when I'm thinking, okay, I will see what he does and try to cover that option next time. But it's like sometimes in the middle of the match, I can't think of that all the time.
yeah, it's definitely something that's fast, and it's definitely something that you have to be kind of ready for.
Yeah.
Um, but what I'd say is don't necessarily I'd say definitely try to mix up what you're going for. So for example, if you're trying to cover ledge and somebody neutral
Hmm.
gets up and you're like, okay, the neutral got up this time. They might go for that next time. Make sure that it's not like they did neutral get up this time. They might go for that next time. Make sure that like um I guess if you can, you want to take it into your own hands. So for example, you can do stuff like, okay, the neutral got up this time. That loses really bad to getting trumped because you can't buffer you can't buffer neutral get up, right?
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like just run off stage and then immediately jump back on to make them think you're gonna trump them, and then when they roll, you back air it or you turn around and you up smash it, right?
Hmm.
You want your positioning and the things that you're doing on stage to bait certain options so that it's not just a guessing game. Because if
Okay.
it's just a guessing game, you're going to lose more often than you're going to win because there's like 4 or 5 options they can pick from.
And I
And
can cover 1 or 2. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the things that you're doing are kind of pushing them to take specific options.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to think of like ways that you can do that. And like, so I guess if you're looking for forward air 1, 2, 3, a good way to do that is just forward air 1 them on shield and then land and grab. And it's like, if that doesn't work, then you know that forward air 1, 2 should work because they're trying to drop shield, So it's
Yeah.
just like those like little things. And I feel like that one's probably one where you have a pretty good grasp of it. But
Yeah, makes sense.
it's kind of just like applying that to everything. Little things like how far you run in neutral, how far you move back away from Ryu in like losing stage control, like that sort of thing.
Okay.
It's definitely tough. It's not something that like will come immediately, but I think
Yeah, I
just
know.
thinking about that stage control and thinking about that thinking about just mixing up those options. I always go by the whole like doctrine that whatever option your opponent doesn't expect is probably the best one.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically it's just making sure that you're mixing up your options, and not only mixing up your options, but also mixing up the timing of your options.
Okay.
Because if you're doing like 2 back airs in neutral, and they're both like hitting his shield and they're both at the exact same time each time, he'll probably get into the like, he'll make like a rhythm read on you. Shield both of your back airs and then punish the second one or something, right?
Yeah, I'll run into me and show you.
Yeah, exactly, that sort of thing. So there's 2 different things you have to think about there, which is the rhythm and the options you're choosing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's tough. It's not something that's easy, and it'll definitely,
Yeah, I know.
but it'll be something that will come with time as long as you're thinking about making sure you're, like I mentioned earlier, you're thinking forward and not
Okay.
just kind of like thinking about the current situation. Because I think that's kind of what's giving you most of your issues right now.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think
that
I
was
think
my
the yeah, no, that's fine. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing is the punish game though. I think you're respecting him too much, and that's like the main cause of all of your problems. You're respecting him
Okay.
too much, and because of that, you're not getting the punishes you could be. You're also giving him too much stage control, and then you're also just choosing options that are a little bit too risky just because you're like really kind of frantic to get out of his space.
Mhm.
Like you did a down tilt earlier and just like didn't really get anything out of it, and then you did there was one dive kick that you hit that you weren't able to convert anything off of, but dive kick I know that like sometimes you just can't do anything about. And then there was another I think you did down tilt fair, and you got down tilt fair, and then you just landed and you didn't do anything after that.
Okay.
So you just want to make sure that you're not giving him kind of like a get out of jail free card.
Okay.
It's tough to punish him and to or not, it's not tough to punish him, but it's tough to find the balance of how high you can take him without without getting punished yourself. So I'd always say, like, if you're not sure, feel free to just do something like witch twist, afterburner kick, up air, and just end it like that. Um, but you always just want to make sure that you're ending it with Ryu above you if you can.
Okay.
Just so that you can juggle him with held up air, held nair, that sort of stuff. So even if you're
Okay.
not sure about your punishes and you're kind of like, okay, I don't want to potentially have him land before me and like punish me with like focus attack or something, just make sure that you're going for stuff like that isn't like, don't always aim for the blast zones, I guess, is the big thing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Because some Bayonettas will always aim for the blast zones because they know that they could potentially get a kill off of them, and then um, they'll aim for them. They'll get up to a high portion of the stage. Ryu will come down, charging focus attack as he falls, punish right as soon as you land, and then eat like a
And
down air
probably kill
shore
me.
you, and probably kill. So yeah, exactly. Um. So yeah, if you're afraid, just witch twist, afterburner kick, up air, or even like if you want to extend it a little bit just to get more percent. But you always just want to make sure that you're either ending it with like a back air or an up air, something that will push, or like even like forward air 1 2 3,
Okay.
just something that will push them away from you, and you won't have to like be afraid of them potentially like.
Yeah,
Um,
so I can land and
yeah,
catch
so
up.
you can land safely, but more than also landing safely, but continue pressuring as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you see how you kind of just let him onto stage for free there?
Yeah,
You
I
did
noticed
you
that.
did held nair, he got up and there wasn't any hitbox there, and then you did held nair back again and he just walked forward and took the stage control.
And I gave
So
him side control for free.
yeah, so it's just like those little things like that. I know Wake Up Shoryu is scary, that like Ryu has scary options off of ledge, but it's just you really want to make sure that you're taking those advantages when you get them.
Okay.
Nice.
And again, I'm going to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I end up dying.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of getting punished coming out of the corner. Let me show you something quick. Let me see if I can find a video here quickly. I don't know if I have any of our sets on screen on stream. Yeah, okay. This is a really good set to watch. Um just throw it in here. So this is a really good example of a Bayonetta playing against a Ryu. Like okay, so I've played against a lot of the Bayonettas, and
Hmm.
the only one that gives me any trouble is Zack. Other ones I'm like I either feel like okay against, or I am like even with. But
Okay.
Zack is like the perfect example of like I don't have to respect Ryu. You know, he
Yeah.
you'll see here he basically just like doesn't respect me, keeps me above him or like in disadvantage. Okay, except for the start.
Yeah. That was nice.
Thank you.
Okay, I noticed that.
I think he still wins this game. Yeah, so just like little things like that, like being comfortable to witch time in situations like that, even when he's behind.
Yeah, and extending the combos.
Oh yeah, that was gross.
Okay. No, yeah, that.
And so yeah, part of it is punish game like that, being comfortable enough to go for that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Obviously his punish game is ridiculous. Um, so that's not something that like I can just be like, oh yeah, just combo like Zach.
Yeah.
But you can see that he's not afraid of Ryu, and you'll see it even more in this game. He kind of turns momentum around here. And he does go to the corner, but he goes to the corner after going for something like an extended combo just to reset his lag so he can be
Yeah, the
safe.
rest of the lag.
A lot of
He's
the
like
time,
not
he's
running
like
at all.
approaching me.
I noticed that. It's like going into you all the time.
Yeah. So he's not afraid at all, and that makes it really really hard to play against him because he's doing things that are like technically like risky, but like going for that up smash.
Okay.
Um it's just so much harder to predict what a Bayonet is going to do when they're not afraid to approach. Because when you're running the whole time, it's like, okay, you're probably gonna side B through me, like side B through my shield every once in a while. You're probably gonna like jump above me. You might dive kick away. You might like try and retreating back air, like that sort of stuff. But suddenly, when he's not, um, when he's not only running, sometimes he's doing like short hop forwards, forward air, and sometimes he's like running in like across the stage and dash grabbing, and other times he's like doing held up air and like suddenly I have to
Yeah.
think about the options because sometimes he does run away. Sometimes I have to think about the options he might have when he's running away. Sometimes I have to think about the options where he's just like waiting for me to do something dumb, the kind of like mid ground options. And then
Hmm.
sometimes I have to think about like his aggressive options too. So
Okay.
the options suddenly become like almost limitless. And Bayonetta has a ton of options, and he's just kind of mixing up the timings as well as picking up a whole bunch of different options and not being afraid to use all of his aggressive options too.
I had one set against this guy, the Rio from my vision. That game one, it was in a tournament, but it's kind of old, so it's like not too much to watch. And in game two, I say, okay, not going to respect him so much, and it was something totally different. I didn't win, but I almost. I was like, yeah, maybe I respect too much Ryu, and I tried like not to approach, and I gave him a lot of time to think and just to wait and punish the one stupid option that I make. Because if I try to play two, like keep away and not approach, if Ryu gets in one time, it's like at 22% or even more, and I like, okay, I have to do something. I have to do something, and I end up doing something stupid, and it snowballs, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So the biggest thing is just making sure that you're not giving him more respect than he demands. If he's
Okay.
like, if he's doing like shore you out of everything over and over and over again and stuff, then it's like, okay, give him some respect, let him do those things, and then punish those. Um, but you want to make sure that you're just like not giving him that stuff for free.
Yeah, I know.
Because Bayo definitely does have like a good combo game on Ryu. Like Ryu has a big frame, and it might be tough for her to get like kill combos on him sometimes. But like he did like 50% with that combo,
Yeah.
so you can see how he kind of like ended that string with just that forward air just to make sure that I wouldn't be able to punish. So yeah, part of it is like punish game and making sure you have the openings that you need. And then the other part is just confidence to make sure that you're using all of your options and not getting like
Okay.
locked down to a few of your options and just sitting and getting walled out. I don't actually remember how this game went, but it's not that important. I'm just curious if it was close. Oh, it was close, wasn't it? Oh yeah, if I would have just did forward
That's
or
it.
1 2 3, I think I might have got that. Anyway, but yeah, so the main thing is just making sure that you're not giving him Ryu too much respect. Um a lot of the players that make this matchup so hard are just the ones that are like, okay, Ryu is a bad character. I don't think Ryu is a bad
Okay, yeah.
character, but the people that make him look bad are the ones that think he's bad. If that
I
makes any
try to do
sense.
that against Sheik. When I play against Sheik, I say like, okay, Sheik is bad, and I go like into Sheik, and I end up winning because I think like that. Against Didi, I do the same. Like, yeah, Didi is low tier, Sheik is low tier, and I go straight into the face. And it
Yeah.
is working sometimes.
And there
So
will be
maybe I should do the
people
same
that
with Ryu.
there will be people that won't work on like perfectly with, of course, but like
Yeah,
the confidence is something that is really important because when you're confident, you're able to use all of your options, or you're not afraid to use all your options. When you're afraid, it's like you will easily get locked down into using less and less of your options, um, and just kind of getting locked out. But when you're confident,
okay,
it's like, why not try this? You know, why not go for this move? And then when you do that sort of thing, it's so hard for your opponent to tell what's going on. Um,
okay.
that's part of the reason that like Mars is so good.
Mm-hmm.
He plays the SS and he does some things that I'm just like, wow, like why would you do that? But his opponents never expect it. You know, it's stuff that like is completely like uncharted territory for a lot of people, so people
Yeah,
can't like expect it. Actually, like New England in general is really good at that. So Light is really good at that with his Fox too. Sometimes
that's
he'll
true.
just do stuff like down throw to up smash, and it's like, I mean, I guess that works, you know, like
Yeah, it
just
worked.
yeah, little stuff like that. It comes with being very very confident in their play, as well as being confident in their options. Um,
Okay,
so I think that's like the biggest thing to work on is just making sure that you're confident in your own options, as well as not like respecting Ryu too much.
okay,
Um, try and treat him like any other character, as like that'll be kind of like the first thing to go for.
mm-hmm.
Um, because treating him like any other character will be your first step to kind of like not completely running away from him and not completely giving up punishes, which are
Okay,
the two changes I'd make first. And then afterwards I'd say um focus on like Ryu specific stuff after that. So stuff like the training mode mod pack and like that sort of thing, as well as like specific like Ryu combos and that sort of stuff. But I'd
okay,
say
makes
I'd say
sense.
to begin, just try and treat him like any other character. Treat him
And
like
then
a
learning the match specific.
yeah, because right now
Okay,
you're not even playing against like you're hardly playing your own game right now, you know? You're letting
okay,
yourself kind of be like stuffed and kind of like stuck by Ryu. And I think what you have to do is just kind of like make sure that you're playing your game and give it your all before working super hard on the like specific anti-Ryu stuff. Because most of the
okay,
stuff you were doing, like you were getting out of Ryu combos, he wasn't getting like anything crazy as far as confirms and stuff go. He was just getting better punishes than you. He was hitting
okay,
like um he was hitting like maybe like 20% conversions, and then you would get like an up throw and then not get anything out of it. And it's kind of a matchup where you should both kind of like hit each other and take like 50%. Like they're both
okay,
very very
makes sense.
strong like combo heavy oriented characters, and you're kind of giving Ryu almost a free win just by letting him um
Yeah, I noticed when I play against the other guy that plays Ryu that I go like more aggressive and do what you say, like use all my options. Maybe it's like I respect this guy too much. Maybe that's too, or maybe it's like he's kind of better and he's do something that makes me respect him. But I feel like against the other Ryu from my region, I kind of go aggressive. But it's a guy that I play all the time, so I know him more.
yeah. It's
So there's a big difference there. I like risk more against him. And
yeah.
against these guys, like I try to play super not risky.
It's something that like is kind of hard to get past mentally, but it's something that's
Yeah.
like really important, is just to try and treat all of your opponents the same. And what helps
Okay.
me with that is like I when I play against somebody like extremely good, I'm just like, well, what makes them different from me? They're just a person with a controller, right? And like
Okay.
although they may be like good people with controllers, they might be very very good at the game. There's nothing preventing you from doing the things that they're doing. And there's nothing preventing you from pressing the right buttons to like take sets from people like that.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody like that, or when you're playing against somebody like that, especially if you do know, like well in the matchup against another Ryu, maybe even be like, okay, this is the other guy, you know, just to
Hmm.
kind of like help you get in the mindset. Because if you kind of go into a match expecting yourself to lose, or expecting to just kind of get walled out, sometimes that translates into your play without even like thinking about it.
Yeah, it's not like I walk into the matchup like saying, okay, I'm going to lose, but it's like I feel kind of different. He's the only guy that this happens to me because he's ranked number one. I'm in rank number 9 or 8. I can't remember right now. But against number 2 and 3, I don't have this problem. It's specifically against this guy. So I think that he's super solid because he is. He's actually the best for some reason, and I kind of respect that. I think I can't get into the mentality that okay, it's just Ryu. Ryu should lose against Bayo if I do the things right.
Yeah.
It's just like it's complicated to get into that mentality. It's like okay, I can't stop thinking like wow, he's too good.
So yeah,
And
it's you don't. I guess you don't necessarily have to think like he's bad or anything, but just like make sure that you're playing to win.
yeah,
Is the big
okay,
thing. Know that you always have the potential to win, and then take those steps and use all of the options that you have available to you, rather than limiting yourself to the ones that might not get you punished.
okay.
Um, that's what I'd say is the biggest thing. Um, and I understand that that's something that's extremely hard to get past, because um, I had basically the same thing in my region with Captain L, um,
Mm-hmm.
the Pikachu player. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, so he was number 2 in my region, and I could beat number 1 in our region, um, and I was number 3, but I couldn't beat Captain L. I was like 1 and like 96 or something in sets with him.
Okay.
I played him like every week, and I just like couldn't beat him, and it took like kind of like a whole mindset shift in order to kind of be like, okay, he's just a player, and I
Yeah.
need to be not like super scared of him. I know that I'm a good player. I know that I can beat him. It's just a matter of using all my options and playing extremely well.
Yeah, there's nothing that can't keep you from winning. Just like if you do things right, you should win. That's true. If I
Yeah.
use all my options and if I play better, I will win. There's nothing that says me that I can't play better than him. That's true.
Another thing that might help, and this helped me a lot too, is make sure that when you're playing against him, you don't think about it like I really, really, really want to win.
No, I try
Um,
not to do that at all. I mostly don't do that.
yeah, because like for me, like when I always have the best results is when I'm like, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun with this set. I'm gonna try my hardest, of course, but I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna try and make sure that I'm learning something from each game.
Yeah, that's my
Um,
mentality. When I head into a set, I'm like, okay, I'm not playing to win. I'm playing to improve and to give my best. And eventually, if I do my best, I will win because I know I can if I play with my best. So that's what I always say before I said, like, not going to win, go to do my best.
yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'd say is the biggest thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
biggest things to kind of focus on. While we wrap this up, is don't respect Ryu too much, which
Okay.
means make sure that you're going for all the punishes that you can, as well as not giving him stage control for free. Um, and then of course the mentality stuff that we just talked about, and then
Okay.
potentially um, working on the like Ryu specific stuff with kind of like the training mode mod pack, as well as comboing him out rather than comboing him up. Um,
Okay.
but the main thing is not to give him more than he's demanding of you, and making sure that you're only giving
Okay.
him the respect that he makes you give him.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, I will focus mostly on stage control and not over respect him. I think stage control is my biggest weakness now. I noticed like we were watching my games and then I watched Zach's game and I like okay, I always run into the corner and Captain Zach is like always running into you in a safe way and mixing up options and I should do that more
Salem is a really, really good example of like good stage control, but like without
without
um
any moment. It's amazing. I watch a lot of Salem sets and I'm like okay, he's not
yeah.
doing anything but he's winning.
And basically what he is super good at is he's really, really good at letting the opponent get comfortable and then going aggressive. So what he'll do is he'll
Okay.
be like, I'm gonna sit back for a really long time and I'm gonna make sure that everything I'm doing is super safe. And then when you're like least expecting it, he'll kind of like dive in and be aggressive. Um, so he's a really good example of people to look for stage control. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I'd say that's a big thing to work on definitely.
Okay.
Um,
I work on that.
okay, awesome. Yeah, if you have any more questions or anything, feel free to let me know for sure. Um,
Uh, no, okay, I'm fine with that. I will download mode pack, practice my punish game, and mostly focus on the stage control thing. And I think if I feel confident with my practice and that, the over respecting Ryu thing should go away. Because
yeah, for
like,
sure.
okay, yeah, if I confident in I not letting him get stage control, I learn new things, that should go away. So okay,
Awesome. Well, hopefully that works out for you. Let me know how it goes.
okay, I will let you know.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, man.
No problem. You have a nice night.
Bye.
Bye.